listen up, y'all. It's the queen of automation, Meghan, here to give you inspiration. Founders and business owners gather round. I'ma show you how to build systems that'll astound. Streamline your processes, no need.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Queen of Automation podcast, where we talk about why technology is only good when it works. Today we're getting geeky and a little techie with Nolan O'Neill. Say hi, Nolan.
Hello.
The owner and co-founder of, I'm going to try not to butcher this, Accuxcel CPA. He's the owner and co-founder with his wife. He's spent 12 years as a tax professional and has a master's in tax. Welcome, Nolan. We're so glad to have you here. Why don't you tell everybody where you're tuning in from?
So I am from Central Florida.
Okay. And I'm a huge believer in there's no such thing as like work-life balance. It's all just life, right? And I'm a huge believer in build for a lifestyle instead of build a career. I would love to hear anything that's happened to you in the last 6 months to a year that's changed the way that you see your life or your business.
So it's really interesting that you say that, because I don't subscribe to the concept of work-life balance. I see it more of like work-life integration. And so, one of the things that sort of propelled my wife and I to start the firm is, when you're working a typical job, you really are tied to specific hours. But we have a family there, we have competing priorities in our life. And so we were really trying to get to a point where it's not that we're working any less, but we're probably actually working more. But, we wanted to get to a point where if we needed to go to an event during the day, or, maybe, one of our parents isn't feeling well, we can, take care of them. Where, if we need to log out earlier in the morning, we can do so. If we need to, get our stuff done at night, we can do so. And really just make things blend together better. Because there's 168 hours in a week. But I really think that's more than enough time to get done what you need to get done. It's just organizing that time effectively.
I couldn't agree more. I like that. I haven't heard the integration used in the term, but I like that because it's 100% exactly what you just said, right? Like being able to, you work when you want, how you want, where you want, and then the thing that becomes the most important is your family and your friends, and that should be the center of everyone's life. I mean, I shouldn't say that, because there are people out there that they choose to be single, they choose to hustle, and that's awesome. Like, that's for them. But anybody who has a family should never feel bad that that's the priority, right? And should never feel bad that they're focusing on that versus building this gargantuan business. Like, you can have both. In fact, I think those brain breaks where you take it after noon off and you go to lunch with your wife, they actually give your brain room to breathe, and then you come back feeling like better and ready to just jump back in. At least that's how it's been for myself.
No, absolutely. I think it's a lot like, I'm not a puzzle person, but let's say like I like doing, puzzles. My wife likes puzzles, and sometimes she'll get stuck and she'll like, I can't figure this out. So she'll step away, for a few minutes, and then, she walks up and she immediately finds the correct piece. And I think a lot of times we get so focused on, the details of what we're doing, it's difficult to take a step back, sort of regroup, and get that clarity that you need.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna ask you my magic wand question. This is the question that I ask everybody, and this is where the fun and the magic happens, right? So you're a business owner. So let's talk about your business. We're gonna get techie and geeky for a second. If I had a magic wand, right? I have a magic wand right now, and I could wave it and I could optimize one thing about like your operations, your systems, processes, kind of any of that like nitty and gritty behind the scenes that nobody sees. If I could just wave something and poof, it went away, what would it be?
So I went back and forth, and I really don't know if there is a solution to this, but I think it would be client communication. It's not that I love speaking to my client.
Right.
But if there was a way where if they asked me a question, if it could be, you know, responded to correctly, and then I could sort of follow up on that later, and add a little bit more context or detail to whatever they were asking, that would be fantastic. Because, for instance, you know, I just finished busy season, and while I'm trying to turn out tax returns, I'm getting, you know, questions from different clients asking me just random different things. And of course, I always want to be very cognizant of, you know, the client experience and making sure they feel that they're heard. And so it's just a very stop and start process.
Okay. So are you finding like they'll ask you like a random question, and either are you like forgetting that it's there, or how are you collecting all of this data? Like, where are you putting all of the questions? Where do they live?
In the practice management software.
And so what project management, you said it, right?
Yeah.
What software are you using for project management? Can I ask?
It's called Client Hub.
Okay. All right. So my next question becomes, do you have a CRM? Are you doing anything? So you're right now what we're talking about is customer relationship management, right? So that's a big one for entrepreneurs like yourself, or service-based entrepreneurs, especially when you're offering a service to someone, correct? And being able to keep track of all the conversations that are coming in and out. You need a two-way inbox, right? So if you had, let's take this for instance. If you had a two-way inbox where all of the questions from everywhere, your social media, your email, your text messages, whatever communication channels you can think of, if they all landed in one place in a centralized location and you could respond to them all in one place, would that be helpful?
Yeah, no, that would be fantastic.
Okay. So, and that's kind of what a CRM does, right? Like it's if a good CRM system is going to offer you it's going to offer you two-way communication. It's going to offer you a two-way communication inbox, right? And not only that, is it's going to offer you the capabilities to automate the communications, not in a way where AI or something like that is going to take over and start responding as you, but what it's going to do is you can tag and flag those communications, and you can put a timestamp on them. So it will give you a task. It'll automatically give Nolan a task. For 3 days from now, it's going to say, hey, you need to respond to Meghan. Meghan sent you a question, and the CRM is going to send you a task like, hey, you didn't respond to her yet. So it automates the tasks that you need, very similar to a project management system, but it's all client-based. It's all like, instead of being project-based, it's customer communication-based. So it's the same thing as a project management system, but it's specifically for your customers. So it's very, very cool. A couple of those, like when you go out and look at things, like when you think about like HubSpot is a CRM system, Salesforce is a CRM system, Go High Level is a CRM system, Monday.com now has a CRM system built in with project management over here and then customer relationship management over here. So I urge you to check out systems like that. And I don't know, again, say the project management system again. What is it called that you're using?
Client Hub.
Client Hub. Okay, I've never actually heard of that one, which is surprising because I have so many like tech system things up in my brain.
It's specific to the accounting industry.
Yeah, so I would urge you to check with them first, because they probably have some sort of API, which is the technology. An API is the technology that connects systems together. So I would urge you to check with them and say, hey, do you integrate with any customer relationship management systems, any CRMs, and see what they say. Because I can almost guarantee you they do, because as you start to get bigger and your list starts to grow, you are going to find that it's a lot harder to try to do like relationship management with your customers inside of a project management tool, because they are really two different brains. Like projects and tasks are so totally different than like communication relationship with your customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Absolutely.
That would be my recommendation to you, is to go and kind of check out and do some research with some customer relationship management systems, because that would that would fix that and it takes time off of your brain too, because then you don't have to think to yourself like, shoot, did I respond to that person? And like, I mean, there are a lot of project management systems too that will probably, I mean, you could realistically go into your project management system today and just add like task notifications so that it flags you like 2 days after a question comes in, it's just going to start notifying you like respond. The more annoying, the better. Honestly, I know that sounds obnoxious, but as a business owner, you wear 12 different hats, right? Am I wrong? So the more annoying with those notifications that you can get, eventually you're going to be like, oh my gosh, stop, and you're going to go in there and figure out why it keeps notifying you and fix the notification and make it go away.
No, this is actually fantastic because I've actually been in the market for a CRM. So I'm aware of HubSpot. I've worked a little bit in HubSpot. I've been made aware of Addio. I didn't know if maybe there were a few others that you could essentially recommend that you've seen good results from.
Absolutely. And I think that we'll have a further conversation about that for sure. But problem solution, right? Like customer, like that is something that I hear so often, the communication side of the business. And that includes, right, for everybody out there listening, that includes like onboarding, right? Like customer onboarding. It includes not just what Nolan's talking about, but like customer relationship management. It's huge. If you are a service-based provider at all, this is a game changer for sure. So good kudos for you for already kind of taking the step and like starting to research and look around, because that is huge. All right. So before we jump off, I want you to tell everybody all about your business. I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, spit all your information out there so they can email you, stalk you on LinkedIn, all of the things.
Awesome. Well, thank you. As was pointed out, my wife and I, we co-founded Accuxcel CPA. Like she said, I've been in tax and accounting for about 12 years. The majority of that time has been spent in public accounting and traditional CPA firms. I spent time at PwC, some other very large CPA firms. And I realized that the client value proposition at most CPA firms is incredibly low. Most people talk to their tax professional once a year. And quite honestly, that's a huge disservice to the client, because when you're speaking to your tax professional in March or, early April, trying to get your taxes crammed in, the year you're filing for is already over. And so at that point, your hands are really tied in regard to how you can take advantage of tax planning or, any sort of tax strategy is gone. Those opportunities are gone. And so what we really focus on is walking with the client throughout the year, identifying different areas where we can help them plan properly for the tax filing at the end of the year. And also, it's about being a trusted advisor and a true professional extension of themselves, and not just being someone they talk to once a year, and just they don't see again for 365 days. And then aside from the tax aspect, we also partner with businesses for outsourced accounting, CFO services as well. So, one of the things that's really impacting the accounting industry in a big way right now is there's a severe accounting shortage. And so my wife, she comes from a background of small business owners. She's the head of finance for a nationwide construction company. And so, we've really come to realize that there's a really big need and there's a huge opportunity to start businesses that maybe, don't have the resources to bring a CFO full time, but they need that financial insight, or maybe they would like to bring in an accountant or two, but honestly, that they don't have enough work for someone to spend 40 hours a week doing. So what we do is we step in and we act as that internal accounting team or that CFO level person in the business to sort of bridge that talent gap for those businesses.
I think that's awesome. Before you jump in, I just want to jump in before you give everybody your information. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody who's listening, I'm telling you right now, I will be talking to him because one of the things that you said that really stood out to me, you don't really know this until you start your own business and until you kind of go through the year. Because I said the one smart thing that I did, my mentor way back when said, make yourself a corporation. Just do it. Just do it right from the beginning. Even if you're the only officer and you're not like whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I did. I made myself a corporation, and I'm just going to tell you, I don't do anything right. Like, I'm not ripping off the Band-Aid here. Like, I do nothing right. I don't pay myself as an employee. I just take officer draws all year long. Like, because it's just me. And it's like, but the other thing is that I don't know what I don't know. So the fact that you said that, and it's 100% true. We're busy, right? Like, as business owners, like you and I, we're busy. You don't have time to like deal with technology and software and like trying to deal with that. I don't have time to deal with like, so I'm that person that's at the beginning of April, I'm like, oops, I have to do my taxes now, because you don't think about it. You just don't. Like, you're so busy and in the weeds. And so I'm super excited to talk to you more about that, because that's going to be, I think that's going to be a game changer for all of your clients, is having somebody. Honestly, I just want somebody to tell me, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, watch it all year long, like put more money here, do that. Like, just tell me what to do. Like, that's not my brain. I'm never going to figure it out. I don't want to figure it out. That's your brain,
Absolutely. And for us, we really view it as, it's a shift in mentality from, traditionally accounting services are very much transactional. So it's like, look, thanks for your stuff. Here's your return. See you in a year. With us, we're trying to focus very much relational. So, we want to get to the point where we are, we know your business as well as you do. And so that way we're able to come to you periodically because, you're busy, running your business, growing your business, trying to, nurture your audience. And so you don't have the time to dig into the accounting, dig into the finances, just like I don't have the time to rebuild my car engine or the skills.
Exactly. I mean, if
my car engine breaks down, then I got to take it to a mechanic because I'm not going to know what's going on. I'm going to make the issue worse.
Yeah, you don't want me fixing your car. Just like Absolutely. You don't want me batting for you. Yeah. All right. Tell everybody where they can find you.
So our website is www.accuxcelcpa.com. And my name is Nolan O'Neill. You can find me on LinkedIn, and look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, and we'll drop all Nolan's information too in the show notes. And this has been super exciting. I'm so glad that you decided to do this with me. I'm so happy that we connected in all of the different places that we connected. And thank you so much. All right, everybody, that's a wrap. And we will see you again next week. Bye.